So we'll rewind the clock a couple hours. The alarm goes off. What's next? Well, my next guest believes you should have a plan before you open your eyes because he says an intentional morning leads to an intentional day. Professional speaker and consultant Patrick Dickerson joining me to help us reinvent our morning routines. Welcome to Studio 5, sir.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. And such a good time, I think. For a lot of us, we have a week behind us a little bit. Our feet are wet, but now we're seeing what's not working and we're ready to turn it around. Patrick, you work with business professionals. You help them improve their workplace environment, but you say these same principles that you teach in the corporate world can really help our home hum.
Absolutely. You know, as a leadership consultant and speaker, we talk about skills that are practical for them to use so that they can ensure success for their day.
Yeah.
One of those skills is being intentional, or call it intentionality if you'd like. Intentionality is simply being purposeful and deliberate in your actions for the day while having a mental focus on a desired outcome or goal. And just as a business professional wants to have a successful day and set the positive tone for the day, it's important for people at home to do the same thing so that they can get their feet off the ground and have a great day at school and work and for the rest of the school year.
I love the word intentionality. It's sort of a buzzword right now, which is fun. I think it shows a positive direction that we're pointed in as a society, that we are celebrating and rallying around that word. What do you view as the benefits of being more intentional about your day?
You know, well, think of it as your home as a living, breathing organism and as you as the heartbeat. And just as a heartbeat is required for an organism to live, that household needs that living organism as well.
Yes.
And you're it. And you set the tone for that and help set up the home for success so that the home can have a positive energy and purpose to start the day.
We joke about that meme, what is it? If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. But there's truth to that. Like if you're a matriarch or even a patriarch, you do set a beat or you set a tone.
You absolutely do.
Yeah.
And you know, and there's a few things you can think about as far as additional benefits to that as you're setting that positive tone. You do set the positive tone. We've all woke up in the morning where it's a difficult day and everybody's in a bad mood and everybody leaves unhappy. But if you're intentional about your actions for the day, it's much easier to be intentional and set a positive tone. And then that helps you be more productive and focused throughout the day. And at the end, it helps your well-being because now you're intentional, you're less stressed.
Yes.
And you have a better mindset.
Yes. I was listening to KSL News Radio this morning. They were reviewing a report and kind of laughing about a study that said people claim to know by 8:36 a.m. if they're going to have a bad day, which seems funny, but it's like, let's get ahead of that. And you do believe in the power of getting ahead. You want us to pre-decide our morning routines.
Yep, absolutely. And I borrow that term from Craig Rochelle. He's a prominent speaker and leader guru. And he coined that phrase, pre-decide. And what he says is the more that we can pre-decide, the more we're going to be successful. And he says, so anything that you can make a decision on the day before, do it, because then that helps you not having to make the decision the next day.
So I'm thinking of something as silly as laying out my kids' clothes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a perfect one. He uses that too. He says, I pre-decide the night before what I'm going to wear. So, hey, mom, pre-decide what you're going to wear as well as what your children are going to wear.
Yeah.
And hey, there's one decision made.
Yeah.
Another good one is simple as breakfast.
Yeah.
Decide what you're going to have for breakfast the next morning, and you'll be surprised at how easy the day goes simply by that one little decision being made.
I feel that. It's not just the chaos of the few minutes where I'm saying Cheerios or scrambled eggs, but it's the mental energy it takes in those minutes that I'm expending, and I don't need to. Decide ahead of time. How can we better personalize our morning routine, make it about us and our family?
Very good question. And again, I want to emphasize personalize and customize because each of our routines are different. Each household is different. No one household is going to be the same. So we need to make sure that we're focused on personalizing it. And I have two pretty good aspects that I think you should consider.
Okay.
One, it's a tough one.
Uh-oh.
Avoid the snooze button.
Oh, no.
It's just,
hard.
it is what it is. It really is for all of us. Business professionals included, and these are people that are out, CEOs and whatever. But if mom wants to be the CEO of the household, she needs to avoid the snooze button. And the reason being, because it leads to my number 2 recommendation, is that you take time for yourself. Now, you think about that 10-minute snooze. That's 10 minutes you could have used for yourself. And what I say is I think there's 4 great things you could do. You could spend some time reading, meditating, maybe get a little devotional in if you want some spirituality, or exercising and stretching. And it doesn't have to be an hour.
Yeah.
10 minutes will help you start the day with purpose, leave you energized, and if you can take care of that before the household wakes up,
yes,
so much the better.
Get ahead of it before the day gets ahead of you. I recently interviewed Hoda Kotb, co-anchor of the Today Show, who we know is this bright bolt of sunshine at 5 a.m. every day, and she echoed those exact two principles. She says when the alarm goes off, her feet hit the floor, and for her that alarm is 3:30. So I mean, we can put that into perspective, and she does a meditation or a movement that's about her. So I hear what you're saying, and I feel the effects of that. Finally, what are your practical tips for implementation? Like, this sounds good, and moms are listening, women are listening. How can we actually make this happen?
Yes, I have 4 keys for that. First one, start small. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? I mean, you know, and I'm kind of a perfectionist, so when I have a task in front of me, it's like, let's get it all done.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? We need to start small. Secondly is celebrate the wins. And I know my wife is really good at checklists and has lots of checklists, and we all do. And sometimes we kind of frown upon ourselves if we're not getting them all done.
To the end of that list.
We need to realize that, hey, we got something done, and celebrate those wins. Don't focus on what you didn't get done.
Yeah.
Focus on what you did, because that list is going to be continual.
You believe in consistency?
I do. Consistency is a big one, because consistency compounds. And what that means is it's going to allow each day to get better and better, and the family is going to fall into that as well, and the routine is going to be that much better.
And we're going to need to make adjustments. You say that's okay, tweak as you go.
Absolutely. You know, leaders have to adjust on the fly, so do households and mothers and everything else there. And I heard a quote one time from Mike Tyson where he said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And
I like that.
That is so true. There's going to be days where you feel like you've been punched in the mouth, right?
Yeah.
But we need to take a step back, breathe, and realize, okay, let's move forward with purpose here.
Yes.
And be proactive versus reactive. Because if we're proactive, that usually results in positivity.
Yeah.
Versus if we're reactive, people go out the door screaming, crying, and it sets the negative tone for the whole day.
This was just the pep talk we needed at just the time we needed it, Patrick. Thank you so much. Where can people get in touch with you and learn more about your professional coaching?
I am on all social media platforms. There's email that you can look on this KSL site as well. Love to reach out and help you wherever we can.
You're good at what you do. Thank you again for that boost.